Darrell, what if anything did you learn from last week's game with Harrogate?
Learn's the key word. That's what you're doing with a group. Obviously, a lot of changes, a lot of staff changes. So you learn with each game. You learn as them games come thick and fast. With what we've got now, so I think it's about 7 games potentially in 21 days. So you just learn more about the group each competitive match you play. So everything's a bit of a learning curve with that. Thought first 30 minutes, like I said, watching the game back Saturday night, as soon as I got back home, watched it back. It was a typical first game of the season, but I still think it's a game we should have won, but we didn't. So disappointing, but we move on to Saturday.
Yeah, what will you expect against Fleetwood on Saturday?
It's early days yet, and obviously they got a good win at Barnet. Fleetwood's always a tough place to go and play, but we've had a good week preparation, so hopefully that come into fruition on Saturday.
I think you once told me that tactics and formations are just numbers you write on a piece of paper. The system you had on Saturday, is that something you're going to persevere with, or are you going to be flexible as the season goes on?
No, we'll have to be flexible. We'll have to be adaptable. That's not a problem. I want an adaptable squad. Working a lot of things out myself and the coaching staff, like we said, about the players, the systems and whatnot. But mentality of the group is key. Making sure that mentality is absolutely spot on, because if that's not right, the tactics don't even come into play, to be honest with you. So it's about responding every week, every game. There's no quick fixes around here. There's a lot of changes, but it's something that I need to consistently see, is that improvement of performances and also mentality improving as we go along the way.
Yeah, how were you pleased that, having talked about Connor on Saturday, that there's been a quick resolution to his departure?
Yeah, I think it's important. I think when a player always gets interest from a division higher of the club, sees the dollar signs, sees the money, sees the pay, sees the opportunity, we get it. I get it as a manager, and it's, I'm not being critical of Connor. That's just the nature of the footballing world. Wish him all the best, thank him for his efforts, and we moved on pretty quickly because we've had to.
Are you confident now you've got a squad that want to be here now and play for Rovers?
Listen, if they don't, you know where the door is. I've said this to any player, and I've said this not just now, but I've said it most clubs I've been at. If they don't want to be here, we'll work it on the merry way that they can go. If there was a valuation for the football club, we'll try and maximise that valuation. But as things stands at the minute, the players they're working hard, they're focused in the training, they're focused on the drills we're trying to do, they're getting a lot of information. They're getting a lot of work. There's building layers to that work, and we're at the bottom of the layers, if I'm honest with you. So they're getting a lot of that information, and they're taking it on board, hopefully, and hopefully we see that when the games come thick and fast.
And we talked at the forum maybe about the midfield being light and wanting to strengthen there. Does Connor's departure leave you light defensively as well?
Yeah, listen, we need 4 new players, in my opinion, 4 new players before the window shuts. We're working hard with that, with the recruitment team and Ricky to make sure that we get the right personnel in. But it can't be rushed. It can't be scattergun recruitment. It has to be a real focus about it. Championship's not even started yet as well, so Premier League hasn't started as well. So what happens is there's a bit of a knockdown from that. Some players that wouldn't have been playing in like League One, Championship and those teams, we start becoming available. So we've got to be patient, but we want the best calibre players we can obviously at the right prices.
You brought Fabrizio into the football club. We know about his quality, and Rovers fans will look forward to seeing him. In terms of his fitness and being League 2 ready, where's he at there?
Fitness levels are good because he's done a full pre-season, played a part in the game as well, a couple of games, so we know he's ready. He looks in decent condition. We managed to do some light training with him this week, but obviously we're waiting on clearance on that, so we'll see how it goes, but he certainly seems a fit lad.
Thank you.
Shackford hasn't played. He didn't obviously play last weekend or the Oxford game. He came off against Coventry. Is there a serious injury there?
Yeah, he's out for about 12 weeks and needed an operation on his hamstring, but that's very unfortunate for the lad because I thought he was having a really good pre-season. But one of those things where it was right in a place where we needed to have surgery with it, and it'd have been better to have surgery than not have surgery on it. So 8 to 12 weeks, so we'll disappointment, but we get on with it.
You say you've learned that it's a constant learning process. I just wondered, not only from the game last weekend, but maybe for the forum, seeing the fans and the frustration in that room, has everything kind of become more clearer now that you've had these kind of experiences and opportunities to see things firsthand?
I'm comfortable being uncomfortable, Dan. I really am. Listen, I know that there are processes that need to bring success to clubs and to our club, and it's shown fruition throughout my managerial career. If you look through the the background of that is a process of what gets you to build a mentality and tactically and fitness wise, and all the different categories come into play. So I'm pretty comfortable. I'm learning, and you have to learn. You know, listen, everybody wants that quick success. They want that quick 5-star. Everybody wants that. We want that, of course we do. But also I don't get out of control with it. I know where we're at. You know, I could go on with past records and sit here and go, right, that's the point total I've had that many games. That's the point total I've had that many games during the season. Still got promoted at the end of it. So it's a process. It's about working hard to that process. It's about a daily thing, an intensity thing. Every detail you can actually imagine to win football games at any professional level has to come into play.
Obviously, a lot of excitement when a new player comes in, particularly a new forward in Fabrizio. But look at the forwards that you've inherited. Promise, for example, obviously pressure on him last year with the price tag being a club record deal. And I think every conversation we've had, we kind of talk about managing his minutes. Where is he at in terms of getting to full fitness and kind of full threshold capacity?
He's exactly where he's at. You know, he's missed a hell of a lot of games last season. He's still building his minutes up. He's a talented player that's, in my opinion, is going to get better and better and stronger. So we have to keep him fit first and foremost, work hard with him, and he obviously ticks a lot of the right attributes for that position, and he needs to get that rhythm. And some players need that rhythm of games, consistent games, to bring the best out of them. So we're hoping with Promise that's the case. Pressure is a privilege, going back to that. Football players are under pressure. It's the nature of where we're at, as footballers should be as well. There's a pressure to perform, and there always is going to be as clubs like ourselves and any club.
What do you see as his skill set? I know you've said that every forward you want something different. What does he bring to the front line?
He's got strength. He can score goals. I did a lot of work on the boy when he was at Fleetwood. I've seen, no disrespect, but I've seen him playing for Fleetwood and played in three different formations on the front line. He gives me flexibility of that. He's been a little bit forced as a 9 at the minute. You know, trying to get that balance around him at the right areas as well. Ellis comes into the equation. We've got Ollie Dewsbury now, who's on the stretch of the line as a 9. We've got Fabio that stretches the line as a 9. We've got Sots who can play as a 10. So it's just giving me different options with that, and you know, promises working hard to keep improving his game, to get himself into a position where he's getting back to his best, because I've seen him at his best. You know, the club invested in him for a reason, right? So we've got to try and get him to the best of his capabilities.